Today we are going to investigate careers that may be of interest to us based on the surveys we took last week. First, you will need to log into your I Have a Plan account, and it looks like this as far as your login page. You will type in your account name that is on your account sheet, and also your password, which is your student ID. You'll sign in, and we'll go to the page that we have seen at the beginning that we started with last time. You also have a handout called Investigating Careers, which we're going to use to kind of investigate what our interests are. From there, you will go into the Iowa Guideways we talked about here. So we'll click on our Iowa Guideways and click on Continue where you left off. And we're going to start on our career key. I'm going to give you a little bit of a second here to get to this point. But once everybody's at this point, we will begin. So once you are at the career key, you are going to click Continue, and when you get in here, you will see see your results now. We want to click on that, and down here it will show what our results are. For myself, I've got realistic and social as being my top interest areas for my career key. So what I'd want to do is I'm going to circle realistic right here, and also social, and then I'm going to put both of those into my interest areas. So my interest area number 1 is realistic, and my interest area number 2 is social. So right now, why don't you go ahead and circle your interest areas and write those into your sheet. Alright, once you have those in there, you will we're going to kind of describe each of our interest areas. So you're going to write, if you look at the first part, it says you are a, and for realistic, it says I am a doer. So I'm going to write doer in here. And under what you enjoy, you're going to write down what they say your interest areas, your interest area enjoys. So for myself, it's hands-on activities. Building, and etc. Alright, other stuff that if I look on there, I see that I prefer concrete problems. Alright, prefer concrete problems. And I can write in anything else that is listed underneath there. Now, why don't you go ahead and fill this out for both your interest area number 1 and number 2, just reading off of what those interest areas are. And then we will stop this to discuss. Alright, once we have done our career key and looked at what our RACEX interest areas are, we're going to go to our other survey that we took, which was our career cluster. So if we go back to our career, if we're in our career key and we go in here and we're at our results, we're going to go up to the Continue button at the top, and you are going to go to career cluster. Now, if you weren't able to go, if there wasn't a Continue button on there, just go to your home page and continue back where you were at. But we'll wait till everybody gets to this point. Alright, and we're going to start our career cluster survey here. Click Continue. And again, we're going to see your results now. And if you remember from last week, we had a bunch of bar graphs that indicated what our top interest areas were. I'm going to use the example of education and training. So I'm going to click on this bar graph. And in this one here, I can kind of read through what some of the stuff is, but my main focus here is on the careers. So I'm going to go into the career tab, and I'm going to pick a career. Now, as you are picking a career, make sure that you pick one that has a full circle or no circle at all. The ones that have half circles are not going to give you much information. So I'm going to choose elementary school teacher here, and it gives me a bunch of information about this. So over here on my sheet, I'm going to put that my career cluster was education and training. And then I'm going to put a slash there. My career of interest is elementary teacher. I'll put that in there. All right. The next column asks what the heck do they do. So we are going to look at what they do, and it gives us a big description here of the different things. My goal for you is just to identify one or two or three things that are that this person does. So it says, instructs students individually and in groups. Okay, so that's the first one that says there. But it also says, I'm going to go down a couple here. Establishes clear objectives. Establishes clear objectives. And I'm going to pick one more that looks kind of interesting. Meets with parents and guardians. Alright, so I put those in there. Obviously there's much more that you can put in there, but those are the ones I'm going to pick. And so that'll, if you want to read through some of those to get a little bit better idea of what the person does, you can kind of go through there. But the next thing we're going to do is the tab, Is It For Me? And this is where it kind of gets interesting, because it will tell you what most people in that field fall under as far as our tests that we did in the career key. And so you see here for elementary teacher, I would circle social. So I'd have social, I'd have artistic, and I would have conventional. Now if I look up here, I know that I got social and realistic. So I hit one out of the three that they have. Does that mean that I can't do it? No, but it shows that definitely a social aspect of it is involved in this job. It also involves an artistic and a conventional thing. And so maybe I want to look into a little bit more on how closely I can tie into that. But it doesn't mean that you can't do it if you don't have that. So I'll let you guys look and see what your how it ties into your interests, and circle the areas that it corresponds to. All right, the next one identifies what skills you need. Now, it kind of talks about some of the basic skills here, but what I want you to look at is what are some of the ones that are high level of skill. So we'll say a high level of skill required. So it talks about being able to counsel and advise. All right, evaluate, and I would say preparation. And it talks about preparing and maintaining, work logs and reports, preparing educational materials. A lot of preparation that goes into that. All right, so go ahead and write down what the skills are that are involved for your career. From there, we're going to go to what to learn. And this is where we're going to identify how much school this person would need. And so what I want you to do is scroll down to educational level. And it says for an elementary teacher that I need at least a bachelor's degree. So what I would do over here, I would circle, do I need at least a high school degree? Yes. So I'll bold that. Do I need a at least 2 years of college? Yes. And do I need at least 4 years of college? Yes. So I need at least 4 years of college, so I'm going to put yes for these. Some careers are only going to need a high school degree, and it'll tell you right in there. Some are going to need a 2-year degree. Others are going to need 4 years and maybe beyond. So you'll want to just identify. And if it needs beyond, maybe you need a graduate. Maybe below here you can write needs 8 years. You can kind of identify. So I'll let you go and investigate that right now as far as the educational level. Then we get to the area that a lot of us are wondering about. How much money do we actually make in this career? So we go to Money and Outlook, and we can look at, for Iowa, how much this person or how much this profession makes. Looks on average, Iowa earns about around $50,000. So I'm just going to write $50,000 a year. And you can, if you're interested, maybe you're looking at different states. You can look at different states, see how they compare, and just kind of investigate how much different areas look. You can even look in different cities here in Iowa. So it gives us a lot of information about how much you make. The next thing I want you to identify is how much is this career growing. And so you scroll down from the top here. You're going to scroll down to Iowa Employment and Outlook. And it looks like the Outlook is stable, which is good. It means that it is growing, and it says the annual growth rate is about 12%. So I'm going to put 12% down here. And what that means is that this job is growing at a pretty good rate. What we want to see is that, if you're interested in a job, is it growing or is it not growing? There will be careers that won't exist when you guys are out of college, and so you'll want to look and see, what is it growing or is it not growing? Is this a career that will definitely be around? And so I'm going to give you a minute, just kind of investigate that, look through that tab, and then what I want you to do is you filled out this first one here. Try and find 2 other careers. It does not have to be in the same career cluster that you did before, but just go back and investigate. So if you need to go back here, you can go up here. Again, I can't get back, so I'm going to go click on the home page and click on my Iowa Guideways, continue where you left off, and click on Career Cluster Survey and continue. And when I see my results now, I can go back in here. So I will look and see, maybe I want to do something in health science. And I will look and see if I can find a career in there that I would be interested in doing, and again, fill it out. Go ahead. If there's any questions, just let me know.